Welcome back to Coming This Summer. Jay Martin, all by myself for this one. This one's a special Better Late Than Never review. Big thanks to DJames14 for the super thanks and the suggestion, and to everyone who agreed with them. We're talking Late Night with the Devil, a horror thriller that honestly I'm kind of now, after watching this, regretting not seeing in the limited theater run that it had. This movie was awesome. I'm going to try to do the best I can without doing much spoiling, but I knew not much at all, hardly anything about this movie other than who was in it. David Dastmalchian. I'm messing his name up. I'm the worst with names, and I apologize. But he's from Ant-Man franchise. He's one of the friends on the squad in the first two movies, and then he plays an alien in Quantumania. But he is the host, Jack Delroy, who's basically hosting a competing talk show in the 70s against The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, and he's desperate to get renewed, and his wife just died, so he does this thing on Halloween to where he brings on a possessed girl, and shit just goes sideways from there. This movie is about as perfectly shot as you can shoot a movie. The production design, the set design, everything is amazing on this movie and really brings you right in. In the first 5 to 10 minutes, they give you this little mini documentary style introduction about Jack Delroy, the character, why he's where he's at in his career and what's at stake. So I was totally in the movie in the first couple minutes. There's a couple it's a little bit dark comedy sprinkled in the movie, but for the most part, it is just straight horror thriller. It looks like a lot of practical effects, and I appreciate that. Obviously, there is some CGI, but you can clearly tell this isn't a big budget movie, which is rumored to be less than $2 million. And this movie did over $12 million at the box office, so they definitely made a little bit of money. But this is one of those movies that shows what you can do if you do it right, and that money isn't really necessarily going to make the movie better. CGI doesn't make the movie better unless the movie's already good. Not a lot of super big names in this either, and I don't mean that in a disrespectful way to everyone else who's in it. Laura Gordon, who I haven't seen in much, I didn't recognize most of the people. I did recognize Ian Bliss from the Matrix sequels, 2 and 3, the one that basically plays Agent Smith once he gets outside of the Matrix. And he has the fight. He's the one that blinds Neo. So he was a pretty serious character in this. I don't really want to spoil too much. I just want to really say that thank you for the suggestion to review this. We should have absolutely reviewed this. This was a great horror movie. And this will be going on my Halloween list because it's so good. And you just don't expect it to be as good as it is. The ending is a little weird, but it still sticks the landing, in my opinion, better than most of the horror movies we've seen recently in the last couple years. This might be one of the, if not the best overall horror movie that we've reviewed since we've been doing the channel. I seriously can't get over that this movie costs less than $2 million to make. I mean, again, you can tell it's a inexpensive movie, but everything is just so good, and the practical effects are so good. There's this worm scene. I don't want to give too much away, but this guy's like ripping worms out of his cheeks and neck and his stomach, and it's just, man, it's such a good classic horror movie. I absolutely recommend this. I'm going to give this, I'm going to give this an 8.2 out of 10, which if you've been watching the channel for any amount of time, you know how high that is. But I definitely recommend this movie just in general. And if you like horror movies, absolutely watch this movie. Thanks again to everybody who's been super liking and recommending movies for us to review. If you want us to review one, don't forget, just go ahead and comment what you want us to review, what we may have missed. Like, subscribe, and check out everything else on the channel. Thanks a lot.
Get to the meat and potatoes, as it were, because it's food. Get it?
Nice. Yes.
Here we go. Sausage party. Foodtopia. Boom.